Hello and welcome to my Mikasa drawing. Today I decided I was like chilling and I was like, man, it'd be pretty badass if I could make like a um anime character kind of shred. And I was like, I've only done a few full bodies, so I just decided, hey, what the hell? Let's give this a shot. So I'm starting off real easy here. I always start with the head, just kind of defining the features a bit. Making the eyes kind of look like they're actually round, kind of placing the nose where I like it, that line, and there's just kind of the center line for me, kind of showing where the center of the face would kind of be. Now I'm kind of making a few lines. I like that what I'm doing here is those red lines are actually head lengths. And I like to make my characters about 6 head lengths. But I'm thinking about increasing that because the average size of a anime character that's a woman is around 7.25, I believe, or 7.5, something like that. So mine are a lot smaller, and it makes the head look a little bit too big. So I might try to increase that as I go on. But right now I'm just doing some very basic anatomy. It takes me a little bit because I'm not very great at it, but basically I'm just making things into shapes and trying to connect them and make them make sense. These lines are just kind of guiding me as I go along. The first half, or the 3 out of the 6 lines there in between, are usually the torso, like the head, shoulders, and a bit of the butt, and then the other half is usually your legs. So that's kind of generally what I go for. I'm not very great at anatomy. This is like my 4th or 5th full body. So I'm trying my best. It's not gonna be the greatest ever, but every time I do this is another chance to make it a little bit better. So right now, as you can see, I'm kind of just like connecting everything, making the shapes that I made earlier into kind of more body parts. And now I'm kind of adding the clothing and just kind of doing what I think would look cool. I'm not very great with clothing, especially shading. It's really hard for me. It's a bit of a challenge. Every time I get a little bit better, but I need a lot more time to do this, especially like I've had a lot of chances to do kind of like upper body clothing, but like anything with legs or like mid torso below is just kind of really new to me. So I try the best I can with what I got right now. I'm assuming that the light is hitting from the right side, so like where my face is facing for Mikasa, that's kind of where the light's facing right now. Some of the shading doesn't make any sense, but I'll fix that later. I'm trying to do like a cool design. I'm really only looking at Mikasa as in like the character's reference, so I'm trying to just kind of come up with my own outfit and kind of my own thing. It's really difficult since, again, I haven't done a lot of full body at all, so this is a big challenge for me. I'm just trying to really like not copy anything or get outside ideas. I want to be able to do my own thing, so I'm just trying. As you can see, I have like 50 layers. That's one of my problems. I just layer things way too much, but I mean, it really helps me in the end. I'm not animating, so it's not a big deal. Right now, I'm adding the hair. It looks a little rough right now, but we'll fix that with some shading and adding some more detail. Her hair's a little bit interesting. She got like a little bit of a bump in the back, and it's a really wild hair. But yeah, as you see, there we go. The lighting is kind of coming from the right side, so we're kind of adding a little bit of shading. And look at that! In an instant, it's already getting a lot better. I'm just trying to add a bit of darkness in areas and light, just to kind of show that like the front kind of bangs are more popped up than the rest of the hair, and just kind of doing things, shading around, just seeing what I like. I'm popping up the eyebrows as well, just because I kind of like the look. The hair covers the whole eyebrows, and that covers a lot of the emotion of the character. So I like to kind of add put them over. Sometimes I'll decrease the opacity and kind of make it kind of blend in a little bit, but this is going to be a larger kind of picture, so I decided, hey, I'll just keep it 100%. Now, like, the face is kind of getting its second run through. I do a lot of run throughs as I do my art, and this is the second one. I kind of want her doing like some sort of singing emotion. I'm not too worried about this, as again, all this is just practice. So if I can take something and learn it from here, like, I will. One of the big struggles that you're seeing right now is making kind of the chest of female characters. Is really hard for me, especially when it's not forward and mirrored from left to right. So I kind of have to like put this at a little bit of a slant. She doesn't have overall really large chest, so I'm just trying to make it circular at the bottom and kind of put a little bit of light at the top to kind of show. But since she's wearing like a shirt that's not going to be like super loose, it's more like a punk tight one. As you see, I'm kind of connecting both of them at the bottom, just so it's like, okay, we have some sort of chest here, but nothing too crazy. But yeah, I spend a lot of time just kind of shading that. It's always going to be really hard for me, at least for a long time, especially with different angles. I'm pretty decent at it, just when they're mirrored, just facing forward. But facing forward characters are not very interesting, and I want to steer away from doing that if possible. So you got to rough it out, and they're going to look bad for a little bit, but every time I go, it's a little bit of a chance to learn. So now I'm kind of making the guitar. I kind of got all the shading done for the clothing, at least for now. I'm going to do another pass through, of course, but now I got to make this guitar. And I was like, oh man, I'm like looking at different guitars, just like, what does a guitar even look like? I was just kind of freeballing it. I just put 3 strings. I was like, you know what? That's good enough. I'm just kind of trying to make it look kind of cool. One of the things I noticed is that the guitar is just a little bit too small. So trying to, on a sprite, trying to like stretch out sprites is usually not a good idea, because it'll become like the pixels will be all jaggy and look not great. So it's better to just kind of go over it again. That's what I did. And here you're going to see why this took so long is, one, because of the pose and just getting the anatomy down. Second, I don't know why it was so hard for me to figure out how to get this arm that's lifted above to kind of line up with the guitar. I couldn't, like, I don't know why. I was having like a brain fart. I was like, how the hell do I get her to play the guitar? I don't really get it. And I'm trying to also like Mikasa is generally like she's very small and skinny. Like her arms and legs are small. So me trying to bend this over, like the arm over itself to kind of show that like she's shredding, like it's a little bit difficult because I need the roundness in the bottom of the arm, so that the whole arm doesn't look super small, if that makes sense. I was having a lot of trouble making, like, the arm was looking like a little baby arm for like a while, like right here, like I don't know, it was not great, but we'll fix it with time. But I finally figured it out. I was like, oh yeah. We can kind of play the guitar now, and I'm pretty happy with this. I mean, from just being in my mind to being able to do this is friggin' awesome. And I'm just going back through the bottom half and kind of adding a little bit more shading, adding her boots in here that from the show. I wanted to keep a little bit, trying to make it a little bit messy at the bottom. Just I'm not worried too much about the detail at the bottom. People don't really look at that too often. I'm just kind of adding a bit of shading, making it look nice. It's an all-in-one boot. You can see here that I'm shading the right side, and I redo the leg on the right because I'm like, oh, the light's hitting the right side. It's something I gotta work on. It's just remembering that where the light is generally hitting the overall body or whatever I'm doing. So I'm going through and I'm kind of erasing everything that's like dark on the right side and kind of adding light there, and then making the left side a little bit darker. And here I'm adding some shading to the guitar, just making it look a little bit better, a little bit more fun. I could definitely do a little bit more here with the guitar and everything, but Again, the purpose for this is just practice for now. I know for a while I'm not going to be able to really produce anything mesmerizing or great. But for now, I'm pretty happy with this, as since it's like my third or fourth attempt at full body, and this is my third try at doing something a little bit more abstract and dynamic. So I'm pretty happy with how it kind of looks. Like, the anatomy's not perfect, but I mean, it never will be the first few. Now I'm kind of working on the background. I'm not really sure what I want to do for the background. I'm trying a few things. I'm like, I don't know, this isn't great. Lighting, it's like, oh, okay, you know what? Let's stick to all reliable. Stars in the sky. We dither the back 3 times. Then we added like a little stage. So a little stage with like some stars in the background. I think that's fine. And we add a shadow. I usually, what I do with the shadows, I'll take all the segments that I have and I'll duplicate them and then merge them all into one and then make it all black. And then when I do that, I can flatten it down and then change the opacity to like 50% and then move that behind or wherever I want. And it's a quick and easy way to make a shadow. Now I'm kind of just like, the shirt at the top's not looking like super fun, and I couldn't figure out how to kind of get anything interesting going there, so I just kind of gave up, honestly. I'm going through right now and kind of just this is basically my final touches. I got a few more minutes left, but now I'm kind of adding shading where it needs to be. The guitars, changing a little bit of lighting on that, maybe messing around with the hair, the background, just final touches. I do this all the time. I always run back a few times and just kind of double check if everything is good or not. I'm generally pretty happy with this. The one thing that I would say is that I think for characters like this, I'm going to start doing 7 heads instead of 6, like I was talking about in the beginning. Just to kind of make the character look a little bit more realistic, especially when their height is like average size. I also want to work on the neck. I feel like the neck was a little bit too thick here and kind of joined together with her traps and her shoulders a bit too much. And maybe I lengthened the neck just a little bit next time, just something to kind of think about. And here's me just doing like little hearts and accessories now. I just want to make the piece just a little bit more interesting. Just add something like a little belt here to try to make like a skull or something. Just something super quick. Just so it's not so boring, because I mean, we're at a punk concert or something like that. So I mean, we gotta show up. You know, we gotta really look the part. So we're adding some necklaces and some rings and whatever else, just for fun, just to have a little bit of a good time here. And that's pretty much it. We have just a little bit extra shading, just make things see a little bit darker in areas. But I'm generally pretty happy with how this came out. Again, next time I'm gonna make the neck a little bit longer. I'm gonna test out how adding more heads length might work out. But yeah, this has been my Mikasa. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching. Please follow my Twitter if you have not. I post all my art there. Thank you very much and have a great day.